This video just kind of shows you what the three different types of eggplants that we grew look like, and also I'm preparing a couple batches of them for the freezer. So this is just kind of harvesting them. And early this morning I went out to pick a couple of eggplants, and the sun was coming up, and I just can't believe these sunflowers that we have. There's only about 6 plants there if you look around. Each plant has a stalk about the size of a tree stem just about, and just some of them are up to 12 feet tall and just loaded. I've never seen so many beautiful sunflowers on them, and the sun was just shining on them and glistening on them. And actually the bees, you could just hear the bees buzzing. It almost sounded like you're in the middle of a beehive. And there you can see, here's a little one that's growing in the corner of the raised bed area, and you can pretty much see that the bees are really hard at work early this morning. You can see them picking up the pollen and kind of sticking on their back legs here, and every flower has at least minimum one bee on it hard at work there. And many of them just have a couple bees there. It's pretty amazing. They're just in full bloom right now, and I just never seen sunflower plants like this before. And they were just some seeds that grew back from last year. And then there's a little bird out there that's going in and it's picking some little sunflower seeds off the plant, and it's bringing them back out, sitting them on top of the fence here, and opening them up and eating them. So birds are enjoying them, the bees are enjoying them, and it's really fun to see these things grow like that. So anyhow, what this is all about, I'm going to start by harvesting some eggplants. As you know, I planted 3 different raised beds with 3 different types of eggplants. One of them is supposed to be a Pandora striped rose eggplant, and that's this first one that I'm picking, but things aren't always what they appear to be. And there's a couple that I got today off of there, and this one's a New York eggplant. You can see that the Japanese beetles have moved on. I haven't seen any in a couple of days, so they did their damage, and now they're gone. So hopefully they're gone for the season. And then these are little fingers eggplants, which it says you can let them grow pretty big if you want, but I'm just kind of getting them a little bit bigger than what they show them. And if you just look at the tomato plants, I can't believe them over here in the raised bed area. They're over 7 feet tall already. So anyhow, this is what the actual eggplants look like, and these are the New York improved eggplant. And these are seeds I got last year from Baker Creek, but I don't have a picture of them. And these are the little fingers eggplant, and there's what they're supposed to look like, and you can actually let them grow a little bit bigger. And these are the Pandora striped rose eggplant. Well, actually, I'm going to call them the Pandora box eggplant, because they look absolutely nothing like what they're supposed to look like. If you look at that picture, they're supposed to be like the little finger ones, and somehow they must have gotten the seeds mixed up or something. But it doesn't really matter to me, because they really did grow good. And they're really a pretty looking eggplant. So here we are getting all set up inside to get ready to freeze some. And my wife's got the breading stuff set up over there, and she's going to start just cutting up the first eggplant. And you can see how, they're nice and fresh, and they're really still young. And you can see that there's basically no seeds in them, just some real little tiny seed areas. So we just start by cutting the ends off of them, and then going back and peeling the skin off. And I know this is not the way you're supposed to use a knife, but this is the way we've done it our whole life. So normally you should cut away from yourself, so don't follow this video when it comes to peeling. And then you can see slice them up. You can see there's basically just some real little tiny seeds in them, but nothing major. And when you do cut an eggplant, you have like about 3 or 4 minutes to get it into the egg before it'll really start oxidizing and turning brown on the outside. So you don't want to cut these eggplants ahead of time. So my wife's she's got this first batch here going. She's using the flour first, and the egg and milk mixture, and then she uses Italian breadcrumbs for the final breading on these. So once we got this going, she's doing the breading, and now I'm going to start peeling and slicing to just kind of keep them so that they, as they're sliced, they're ready to be breaded so they don't oxidize and turn brown. So these are little fingers ones, and you can see they're almost like a zucchini shape, and they're just small pieces when you cut them up, and some small seeds in there and stuff. And turns out that they are really super sweet when you cook them up. So there she is, just that batch I just cut. You can see how they're turning brown already within a minute. And once you get them in that egg mix there, though, it seals them up and they're fine. You can leave them sit after they're breaded for a while, no problem. So this does take a while, but it's got to be done. And here's one of the New York ones now. Same thing, cut off the ends, and I'm just gonna peel it and slice it. And these can get quite a bit larger. I just picked some small ones to get going today, and in the future there'll be a lot more. So this is just the first batch to get that all peeled up there, and now I'm just gonna slice that one up. And you can see they're really nice, young, and tender. And once we cooked them up and did taste them, they really are super sweet this year. I was a little bit worried because of the drought, and we've been watering them every day up until we got rain a couple days ago. So luckily that rain did keep them from getting, or the water did keep them from getting bitter. So now we're starting to get some trays of them. They're breaded up. My wife is catching up with me here. And once I got the first tray full, I started to set up to fry them. So my next job is going to be to peel them, slice them, and fry them. So I'm just using that fry poppy thing that I've got. Only trouble with it is you can only really put 3 in at a time, 2 to 3 depending on the size of them. If you want them to come out, perfectly evenly cooked, you can throw more in if you want, but they just don't come out right. So it does take a while, batch after batch. From the start to finish of the frying of this, it actually took me 2 hours. So you can see there are quite a few eggplants there. In the meantime, we're just we got something going here like an assembly line now, so it's really pretty easy. It's just kind of an enjoying morning. And then we got some zucchinis that we sliced up, and green tomatoes for a snack to fry last when the eggplants are all done. So there they are. That's all those eggplants that I picked this morning, all fried up, ready to go in the freezer, and a couple snacks to enjoy. So now I'm gonna start making up bags. We always use these food saver bags for freezing. They really do help keep things from getting freezer burn, and they do seal really good. So we buy the rolls of them when we find them on sale at Costco, and then you just have to cut off pieces the size that you want, and put them the shiny side up in the machine, and just seal one end of them to start out with. And it's a very slow process. You can see, this is real time how long it takes to seal one end of them. So it does take a while to get them all cut up and sealed. And then once you got them sealed, it's just a matter of going back and vacuum packing them. I use a pulse vac. You saw that button that I hit, and that actually allows you to control exactly how much vacuum you put on the bag. Otherwise, it would just suck these flat to one little, thin pancake probably. So, that way you can control it. Just get the air out and then let the machine seal it. And there it is, first pack all ready to go. It doesn't take that long, and, they do stay really great. And in the winter, what we'll do is we'll just grab a pack out of the freezer and cook up some spaghetti and throw them in the oven. And they'll crisp up really quick in the oven, and you can also make eggplant parmesan out of them then too. So they really are great to enjoy year round. This is, this is just the first couple that we picked. I figured I'd show you how we freeze them, and the next ones will probably be thrown on the grill. Some of them, and some of them used in stir fries, and just so many different uses for eggplants. And they are just so good when you pick them fresh, and especially this year, they just seem to be super sweet with no bitterness at all. So there it is, the New York ones, and the little fingers, and the Pandora's box ones, I'm going to call them, because they're really not what they're supposed to be, but they're really good anyway. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.